This is the solving exponential equations homework, and this is question A. So 4 to the 2x minus 6 equals 16, so we need to, step 1 is get a common base. Sometimes that's easy, sometimes it's hard. 4 and 16, well, 4 squared is 16. So as a general rule, I'm going to take the larger one and try and match it to the smaller one if they have a common base. Sometimes the common base is the smaller one, as it is in this case. So 4 is a common base. That's nice because I only have to change the 16. So the 4 I'm not going to change. That's still raised to the 2x minus 6 power. The 16, well, 16 equals 4 squared, so I'm just going to write 4 squared there. Okay, so now I have a common base. I've got a 4 and I've got a 4, and when I've got a common base, I can set the exponents equal to each other. Okay, and so this is what they say, what they mean when they say drop the base. Okay, so step 2, drop the base. That's after you've got a common base, and simplified if necessary. So now I'm back over here and I've got 2x minus 6 equals 2. I'm just setting the exponents themselves equal to each other. I'm going to add 6 to both sides, and so I'm going to have 2x equals 2 plus 6, which is 8, and then I'm going to divide both sides by 2. And so then we're going to get x, let's do it over here, x equals 4. We come back up and check. So now I have 4 raised to the 2 times 4 minus 6. Does that equal 16? Well, 2 times 4 is 8. So that's 8 minus 6, which is 2. Yeah, 4 squared equals 16. Okay? So, first question, final answer is x equals 4. Make sure you write it somewhere. Make sure you show your work. Okay? We've talked about what you need to show and don't show, and that varies to some degree, but I'm not going to penalize you for showing me too much work. Let's go on to question B. So, now we get a little bit different. I've got a 5 and I've got a 125. So, you got to keep your rules in mind. 1 over a number means I'm going to have a negative exponent. I've got 125, and so I expect that that is 5 to a power. 5 to some unknown power equals 125. If I realize that power, if I can figure out what goes in here, then all I need to do is make it negative, and then we'll have 1 over it. Well, I know that 5 cubed equals 125, so 5 to the negative 3 is going to be 1 over 125. So that's what I'm going to do in this problem. I'll move over to the left here and start again. Now I have 5, 3x plus 1 equals 5 to the negative 3. I've got my bases the same, and so now I can drop my bases. They're gone, and rewrite a new equation, and that new equation is going to be 3x plus 1 equals negative 3. I'm going to subtract 1. 3x equals negative 4, and I'm going to divide by 3 and get x equals negative 4 over 3. Okay, so now I'm going to check. I've written the equation out already. Remember to check by putting your solution into the original equation. So I'm putting the negative 4/3 into the original equation. And when I do that, 3 times negative 4 over 3. I'm multiplying by 3 and dividing by 3. Okay, and so that's going to be just negative 4 plus 1 as the exponent, which makes it negative 3. So now I've got 5 raised to the negative 3 power, and 5 to the negative 3 is 1 over 5 cubed, which is 1 over 125, and so I'm good. Let's look at the next question. Similar situation here where I've got a 1/2, right? 1/2 is 1 over 2 to the first power, and so I could rewrite that as 2 to the negative 1. So I'm going to substitute 2 to the negative 1 in here. 8, as you know, is 2 cubed. We've done that many times, so we should be knowing that by now. Right, so now my equation is going to be 2 to the negative 1 raised to the 6x minus 3 equals 2 cubed. I have to simplify this. Power to a power, multiply exponents, so off to the side, negative 1 times 6x minus 3. If you don't do this step off to the side, yeah, okay, that's fine. And multiplying by 1 is easy, but you got to make sure you do it correctly, because I'm seeing a lot of mistakes in this area. So I get negative 1 times 6x is negative 6x, and negative 1 times negative 3 times minus 3 is going to become plus 3. So now I have 2 to the negative 6x plus 3 equals 2 cubed. I'm going to drop my exponents and go with negative 6x plus 3 equals 3. Negative 6x, subtract 3 from both sides, equals 0. So x equals 0. Let's take a look and see if that works. If I put 0 in times 6, that's 0. Minus 3 is negative 3. So, I'm going to look over to the left here. Is 1/2 to the negative 3, what's that equal? Well, the negative means I'm going to take the reciprocal, so that's going to be 2 cubed, which is 8. So, I'm good. So, x equals 0 in this problem. It was just down a little lower. Good idea to circle your answer, just don't circle more than one. Let's do one more on this video. This is D. Okay, so we haven't seen one just like this yet in class, so I hope you're able to give this one a shot and get through it. I've got 7, and that symbol is times. It's not the greatest version of the time symbol, but that's what that means. Couldn't really mean much of anything else. So the 7 doesn't have an exponent. And I can't multiply the 7 times the 36 and get whatever that would be, 252 I think, because it's not just 36, it's 36 raised to a power. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is divide both sides by 7 so that I have 36 to the 1/2 x plus 2 by itself, and I can rewrite the right hand side as hopefully a power of 6. Okay, so let's see how that works out. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is divide both sides by 7. 7 on the left cancels out to be 1, so I have 36 to the 1/2 x plus 2. Okay, so you're probably unsure about this right hand side. Dividing by 7 is the same as multiplying by 1 over 7, right? Or I can get rid of the denominator by multiplying by the reciprocal. You can think of it in a lot of different ways. If I multiply the bottom by 1/7, I have to multiply the top by 1/7. That's why dividing by a number is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal. So now I have 7 times 1 and 6 times 7, but hopefully you notice that the 7 over 7 will cancel. So now what I have left is the 1/6. So now I'm going to rewrite things with a common base. 36, right, as you know, is going to be 6 squared. And so then I'm going to keep the 1/2 x plus 2. And 1 over 6 is 6 to the negative 1. So it's got a few steps, but a lot of the same stuff, with the exception of that first part where we divided by 7. So now I've got 2 times 1/2 x plus 2, and so that's going to be 2 times 1/2 is 1, 2 times 2 is 4. So 1x plus 4, or just x plus 4. So now I've got 6 to the x plus 4 equals 6 to the negative 1. Now I can drop x plus 4 equals negative 1. Subtract 4, x equals negative 5. Here's my check. That's an ugly K. I'm going to have 7 times 36, and I've got x equals negative 5, so that's 1/2 times negative 5 plus 2. Well, so that's negative 5 over 2, right? Multiply, numerator if you wish, plus, let's see, 2 is 4 over 2, so that's negative 1 over 2. So it's the negative 1/2. After I've simplified the exponent, does that equal 7 over 6? Let's simplify this part a little further. That's 7 times, well, negative 1/2, excuse me. That's 36 to the negative 1/2. So it's 1 over 36 to the 1/2. And 36 to the 1/2 power is just 6. We haven't talked about our rational exponents yet this year, but you have been exposed to them in the past. 7 times 1/6 equals 7/6. Check. So that's A, B, C, and D.